All right. Afternoon, everyone. We'll get things started. We would like to welcome Matt Atkins and Bryan here to the Media Center at the Myrtle Beach Classic.
Thanks,
We're going to take it back to a couple weeks at the Q, Myrtle Beach, and go with that. Congratulations, Matt.
Thank you. Nice job, Matt, man. Congrats.
Good job, Matt.
Came down to the final stretch there. Just kind of want to get a recap of what it was like battling it out between you two. We'll start off with you, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great day, a great opportunity to earn a spot into here. It was definitely weird playing against a good friend. That was the first time that's ever happened, where it was like a win-lose situation. So honestly, when I was coming up the last hole in regulation, I said to my friend that was caddying for me, I was like, well, at least it's George, because I honestly thought it was over.
Yeah, me too.
So I ended up having a putt to get in a playoff, and I wouldn't rank myself anywhere near the top of the list for clutch putters, so I even was kind of surprised that it went in, and got into a playoff, and
at that point, you knew it was over. I knew it was over going to the playoff. I was like, I don't want to believe it.
Maybe that's why you lost the playoff.
It probably is.
No, I just thought, okay, fresh start. I kind of butchered 16 and 17, and then, like I said, thought it was over, and found my way in a playoff, and it was a clean slate. So, and I had my putter was not cooperating for a few months, and I had a really short tap in. And
you were thinking about missing it, were you?
No, when you missed your putt, I was like, good, I really didn't want to play this hole again. So, no, I was happy to get a spot. And obviously, sitting here today, thrilled that George is here as well. So that bittersweet moment on the 18th green at the Q is now just a sweet moment. So
George,
what is it like battling out in a playoff with someone you consider a friend?
Yeah, I mean, again, we've competed enough against each other over the years. Not as much with Matt, just because he was on many tours, then he went to the PGA Tour in Korn Ferry when I was kind of not there, and so we hadn't had this many tournament battles. But we've done enough with our friends. Like, we play with a lot of friends, and that's just part of the deal. And so it was no different than normal tournament, normal match out at Salino, wherever we are. But again, we were both competitors, so we went into the day, we each wanted to win, and I just had this feeling it was going to come down to whatever Matt was going to win. I was going to have to play to catch him, and I turned it on in the middle of the round to tie him and to kind of us to go back and forth, neck and neck. And I was like, man, he's not when's he going to pull away? And he never did. But then on 16 and 17, he bogeyed 16 and 17.
They were terrible bogeys.
They made a 25-footer for bogey on 16, which was like, why are you doing that? But I had a 2-stroke lead. I'm like, all right, George, this is mine now. And so I hit good shots on 17, made a great putt on 17, and then go to 18, just drive it right down the middle. I'm like, this is mine. And so it was cool to have that kind of that tournament mentality kick back in, because the last tournament I played in was Bermuda, which was 5 months prior. And to get those juices flowing, I was excited, and then to just absolutely fall on my face, kind of. I hit shots that were decent, but then chip it in the water. And you're just sitting there what did I just do? I just hit a 30-yard pitch shot in the water, and had to regain myself, going to playoff. And legitimately, after I lost, again, my job is YouTube golf. Pro golf is just kind of icing on the cake. But I still wanted to play in the first ever PGA Tour event in Myrtle Beach, represent my home state. And I was sad for a week. I couldn't even go to the golf course and practice a couple of days, because all I could think about was that 40-yard pitch shot out of the rough, downhill lie, and should I laid up? And but then fast forward a few weeks when I got the phone call saying, hey, what are you doing May 6th through 12th? And I'm like, no freaking way. You just this happened, because again, I thought everything, my ship had sunk, March 1st or whenever we filmed. And it's just cool to be able to use our platform to be able to tell the story of the Myrtle Beach Classic, playing a PGA Tour event in my home state, and do alongside Matt and Wesley being here. It's just a really cool thing. It's something that probably you're not going to really grasp for many years down the road.
With the Q, you guys brought in a lot of excitement to the week. What have been some of the positive feedback you've heard, whether it been from fans or family members, about this inaugural event?
I think just the tournament, I don't know about you. Well, I grew up coming to play golf in Myrtle Beach, from age 5 or 6 all the way until 18, 19, 20 years old. Like, we came to Myrtle Beach. So, like, when we found out, like, a tournament was here, I was like, I want to play in this bad. And so the Q came about, you know, Joe and Play Golf Myrtle Beach, they like said, hey, let's do this thing. And I was like, yeah, like, this has to happen. How can we make this happen? And to be a part of the Q, to be able to, like, use kind of what we do now is YouTube and, like, kind of bridge the gap or, like, have a seat at the table with the PGA Tour and, like, be able to partner with the PGA Tour to, like, help tell, you know, the Myrtle Beach Classic story was something that was insane, like, one of the coolest ideas I've ever heard. And the feedback has been amazing. Like, you know, I think the video's got 900,000 views. It's, you know, it was the talk of YouTube golf for a week. And he was the talk of YouTube golf for a week because you know, he took down me, and everyone was sad because
I was,
you know,
I was the bad guy for a week or so.
No, but it's just cool because, like, it's never been a thing where YouTube has had an impact into a PGA Tour event, like, directly, and, like, this is the first time it's ever happened, and so to be a part of that is something that's, I mean, it was really freaking cool. Matt, thoughts?
Any words to add excitement to the week, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, him and Wesley, they're used to getting stopped and talked to, like, hey, you know, I watch your videos or whatever. And, you know, I'll appear in some of their videos and whatnot. And I just, you know, I play professionally for a living. And there's some people who obviously are big enough golf fans to maybe know who I am over the years just in random stuff. But for the most part, everyone's got, you know, their handful of guys that they think about when they think about pro golf. But since the Q came out, there's definitely a few people, especially here this week, that, oh, hey, congrats, you know, good playing in the Q, excited you're here. Yes. I'm not used to getting stopped by people that I don't really know like they are. So it's cool just to feel the support. And like he was talking about Myrtle Beach, like my golf story is much different than theirs growing up. And I didn't grow up in South Carolina, but South Carolina is my home now. And but we vacationed here in Myrtle Beach, and this is where I would tell people I just played golf on vacation, and so this is where it was. So it's kind of a cool, like, full circle moment. Even though this isn't my first tour event or my first year playing professionally, just to be here playing in the first PGA Tour event in Myrtle Beach is cool because this is where I kind of, I guess, learned how to play, even though I was just kind of whacking it around.
Yeah.
And Matt, you've appeared on their channels a lot. How did this friendship, or when did you guys kind of first meet?
So I actually played with Wesley in a college event that he doesn't really remember. We played 36 holes in the...
Wow, 36 holes? You don't remember him?
Yeah.
It was terrible.
But, you know.
He was terrible.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't very good in college. I'll be honest. He wasn't.
But no, so one of my good friends that I met at a college golf fellowship retreat played at Georgia Tech. His name's James White, and he and I traveled and played some mini tour golf together, and we... he had kind of looped Wesley into a practice round at an e-golf tour event. And so that's where Wesley first remembers meeting myself. But, you know, it was just a normal practice round. I didn't think anything of it. You know, everything was cordial. But, like, then the next week maybe we were playing at the Country Club of South Carolina, was it maybe? And he came up to me on the range. Like, I didn't have his phone number or anything. And he came up, and, like, knowing him now, it's more funny because I know, like, his personality. But he came up, he's like, dude, I almost died yesterday. I was like, what? Like, I played a practice round with him, but, like, he came up to me like we were tight, like we were boys or something. And so that's kind of where our friendship, like kicked off. But maybe, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you if I got your number on the range or whatever. But, you know, we had stayed in touch. And then I played at the University of South Carolina, Aiken, and got married in 2017. Moved to North Augusta, South Carolina, and Wesley and his wife were in Augusta while she was there for school. And so Wesley and I played together a ton, and I guess you had recently moved to Aiken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we were all in the same area. I played with Wesley a lot more than I did George just because of tour golf, practice rounds.
And I didn't get invited many times.
No. We would invite you. You would just say no. But I played the 2018 season. Wesley and I played pretty much every week we were together. We played a practice round. So we've just been friends long before, like between their trick shot YouTube and where their YouTube is now, we were friends. Mm-hmm. And so all we do is, you know, they asked me to come play while there's a camera there. So it's not any different than us playing like we always do. For a while there, it was you orchestrating the filming and playing.
Let's go stream. Yeah.
You would come over to Lexington film a 1v1 against Wesley, and then me, Scott, Will, and Wesley would play, and you would just not stick around and play with us. You didn't like us, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't
I had
know.
to get back to edit at the time. So I had to like go film the whole thing because Wesley, he wasn't coming to Aiken to play back then. And I would have to go back and edit videos. So that's why I didn't stay. And my golf, and truthfully, my golf game just wasn't as good.
No, you needed to go home to play video games during nap time. That is 100% true.
Well, there might be some truth in that, yes. But no, like my game, it was frustrating because like I feel like I couldn't compete with you guys because y'all were playing, y'all were pretty solid, and I just was annoyed that my game wasn't quite like solid enough to get in the gambling matches and like feel great about it. And so it was like mostly editing, but part of it was like game just didn't feel like good to go play a non-filming round of golf, which is no, it's not the case, but.
I feel like your game is the exact.
Yeah,
you've always been
that's
great.
the thing. And the cool thing about Matt and a lot of the guys we play with, they've told me that even when my game was garbage in my eyes, like, dude, you're good enough to be on the PGA Tour. I'm like, what are you talking about? I just shot 74 at Lexington, but he kept saying, and like guys like Matt and Scott and the guys we play with, they say, George, you're good enough to be on the PGA Tour. And so part of that, they're part of the reason why I played as well as I did last year, got into Bermuda and made the cut in a PGA Tour event as a YouTuber, a guy that doesn't kind of written off
competitive golf.
Yeah, and so it was cool because like they helped instill confidence in me when I had zero confidence.
Which is
Shout out to
where
you, Matt.
you're the beast.
Yeah, you're the beast.
Amazing. With that, we'll go and open up with questions. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a microphone over to you. Go, Paul, and then we'll work our way up front.
Matt, wondering, I feel like the first time a lot of people kind of heard more about your story was last year at RSM and seeing you Monday qualify and make the cut and play well. Just wondering, I mean, you talked about getting noticed a little bit more after the Q, but what the response has been like since that week and kind of your progression with your golf.
Yeah, like so amongst like players and caddies, they all think like I'm some like Monday king or something, which is like like it's like, dude, I Mondayed into like a couple events. Now, it's more of like, I guess, a recency bias thing. But yeah, definitely some more people. I think it's just a mix of everything between Bryan Bro stuff and kind of getting involved more with their community and communicating with their community. But yeah, the RSM, I was down to, no money and wasn't, I was okay if I had to quit and go do something else. And, a lot of prayers for clarity and discernment, and a lot of things got answered that week. So it was kind of, I got interviewed there, and they're like, "Are you normally emotional like this?" I'm like, "No, like definitely not." So yeah, it was that was a big week for I guess like my career, as far as continuing to play. But I definitely had people reach out, and when people asked me questions in front of a camera, I just said whatever I was going to say. I didn't think about anything, and so it was cool to see that it had mostly a positive impact for people. So, but yeah, there's been a lot of people that I think, when you're out here and you're playing and everything, not everyone, there's a lot of surface level conversation. So it was cool to see some of the other players and caddies just, kind of congratulate me on that week, or just come by and be like, "Oh man, like it was, that was really awesome to see." Just because, like I said, there's maybe not as much depth in the conversations that there needs to be, and so people don't really know what everyone's going through out here. So,
George, just what do you think when you seeing your friend experience that?
That was insane because I was with him the week before at Q School, and it was where he played awful all week. He didn't play; he just scored bad. He was still playing fine, and it's like, well, I got Monday qualifier next week, and I was playing extremely well at Q School, so it was a weird dynamic having to I knew how much this was this was last run at things, and seeing him play bad and not get through, I was like, dang it, this stinks. But I'm playing well, so it was this weird dynamic. And again, I knew he's a great player, and so I knew he would have a chance going to that Monday. But I was locked in on that Monday, following his round, and when I saw he got through, it was one of the cooler things because I knew I knew his story before everyone else did, and I was just you can't make it up, you can't script it any better or any crazier, and so it's just a testament to kind of who he is. He's a grinder. He believes himself when he maybe on paper shouldn't, and that getting through that Monday, making the cut, And then, going to this year, getting through some Mondays and playing like he has, it just shows you, like, you believe in yourself, like, how powerful the mind is and staying positive. But, yeah, no, it was one of the coolest. I mean, that was one of the highlights of the year is, like, seeing Matt do that, like, when he needed it was crazy.
Matt, you mentioned some of the emotions that you had qualifying in. Obviously, you're carrying some of that emotion with you today coming into this event as well. What can the PGA Tour do better to bring more of the Korn Ferry guys up, give more of those guys a chance, do you think, in your eyes?
As far as like playing or
playing on the PGA, how can we how can we restructure to get more of your stories and more of that emotion up?
I think like the season long stuff is fine as far as like how many cards are given out and things like that. I think it was cool to see the PGA Championship give Tim an exemption. Tim Whiting won back-to-back weeks on the Korn Ferry Tour, and the Korn Ferry Tour is definitely more of a PGA Tour overflow than it is a developmental tour at this point. A lot of great players that can compete out here on a weekly basis. And so I don't really know. I mean, maybe in these opposite field events or whatever, maybe having some sort of category where like the current season, like, whatever threshold it may be, 5, 10 guys or whatever. But then again, you're also going to keep 5 or 10 guys from this tour off. And, Wesley finished solo second in the Dominican, and, on paper or what's been going on the last couple of years, people be like, why is he, playing? Or it'd be like a shock to them that, he played so well. But I think that's just how professional golf is. A lot of guys are capable of playing great any week. And, you see Camilo win last fall. And but, yeah, I mean, I think as far as the Korn Ferry, it's maybe like the future generation of players, guys like Scotty Scheffler and, these Cootie brothers and stuff. Like, there's a lot of great players. So I don't think there's anything that is super wrong with the system. But I think more so just telling people stories, whether the playing opportunities are different or not, but just more maybe exposure on who everyone is, because you kind of don't really know until they do something great out here.
Hey, George, you referenced it earlier. You guys came down here to play a lot as kids, and I think you were maybe 6 years in a row at the George Holiday
A lot of years, yeah.
during Thanksgiving. Can you just talk about that, your connection to Myrtle Beach, both you guys, and how that led possibly to this current agreement you have to represent Myrtle Beach, and what this agreement with Myrtle Beach, I guess it's Golf Tourism Solutions, what that agreement entails, if you would.
Yeah, so shout out to George Holiday. It was my first ever big junior win. I was 12 years old playing, shot 66, beat Jesse Spears from Bangor, Maine in a playoff, and he was like 2 years older than I was. But it was, it was a tournament. Any age division could win the overall championship. So like I was a 12-year-old that won the overall title against like 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds. And so it was a tournament we came to play here in Myrtle Beach every year, every Thanksgiving. And so again, played the Carolinas Junior here. I think it was a Wild Wing a couple times. Played at Myrtlewood back in the day. And so like, yeah, Myrtle Beach golf is basically part of our DNA. And fast forward to now, to be able to partner with Play Golf Myrtle Beach and be able to play a part in telling their story and using our platform to show people, how great Myrtle Beach is as a golf destination, come here with a family. My family's on the way right now, and yeah, it's a cool thing because again, that was 24 years ago, and to come full circle to play, in a PGA Tour event in your home state, it's somewhere where you got, which I just now thought about, it's my first ever win is really special. So.
And can you expound a little bit also on the agreement you have with Myrtle Beach and what your relationship is and maybe your responsibilities within that?
Yeah, they just want to come along and come help us tell, or come be a part of what we got going on YouTube, on social, and just like use us is to help tell their story and tell people about Myrtle Beach. And it's, yeah, Kyle, it's been one of the coolest partnerships we've had because they truly believe and want the best for us. They don't want just like, hey, we want to use you guys to use your platform. They want to join together. We want to help Play Golf Myrtle Beach win, and they want to help us win. And yeah, it's just exciting times. And we had an event last night, first ever mini golf championship at Pop Stroke, and it's just been a fun week so far.
Matt, this question is for you. Excluding George and I'd like to know your dream YouTube golf foursome.
Should be pretty easy. I mean, you have one, Grant Horvat. Like,
but I played with Grant in the queue.
Yeah, no, that's one.
I think Fat Perez.
Yeah.
Didn't get to play with him. Scott and Jamie got to play with him in the practice round.
Good choice. I mean, Bobby Fairways has to be in there. Like, I play, that's him and Fat Perez together. Those are two that you just got to put there.
Maybe it's just me and the whole Bob Sports group.
Nah,
that's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Because I already played with Grant and Micah and those guys. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I played with Quan when he was out on the corner. Yeah. So just the whole group.
Yeah. Right? Shout out to Bobby Fairways if you're watching this. Play well today, Wesley.
Go back left here.
Hey, George, so you have so many comments in your latest YouTube video of fans saying, I'm looking at plane tickets, I'm looking at how to get there. What is your message to the fans that are just going so far to try and come to see you play?
Yeah, no, it's cool that, because again, I read all the comments. I mean, that's an exaggeration, but I go through a lot of the comments, DMs, and I mean, I just scour because they're taking the time to write something on a YouTube video or Instagram post. Like, I want to take the time to read it and be intentional. And it's I think it's a testament to what we've kind of built. And it's not just me and Wesley. It's like we've built a community of golfers that we're all a part of. And I feel like you can feel that in the comment section because it feels more like a family of golf sickos that we're a part of. Not like, oh, we have a channel that you guys are commenting at, and we just see you guys' numbers. It's cool because I want that to be the case. I want people to feel like they want to come be a part of the story because they're just as much as a reason I'm here playing in the Myrtle Beach Classic as anyone, because the message of them encouraged me, hey, you're good at golf, you're great, keep at it. And I feel that, and I want them to know that, hey, come and hang out. I want you to get to know me as well. I appreciate you, and get to hear their stories. And again, what we built in Discord is a I guess further amplifies that. We have a community of a few thousand people in there that we talk golf every day, and it's building a family that me and Wesley are just the I guess the center of. But everyone is branching off and forming relationships other than just me in there, which is cool because again, I want us to build a positive platform where people can come. Talk life, talk golf, but it's all in a very positive light, showing people, or bringing the good of golf, being the glue of these relationships. So yeah, it's cool to see that for sure, and I feel it. We all feel it. Matt feels it. Wesley feels it.
I've stayed with your subscribers.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, just a quick follow-up, he can answer also. Pop Stroke last night, how was that being right there on the course with the fans?
Yeah, no, it's cool. Because again, most of the time we just have, our interactions are through YouTube videos. And so to actually get face-to-face interactions with people that watch our video and support our channel is, it's cool because, they take the time out of their day to support us and watch our videos and find us entertaining or insightful, whatever it is. And it's cool to just get to talk and hear their story, interact with them, and to see a physical representation, even though it's just a small glimpse of what we build is it's very humbling because it's wow, they're going all this way, driving from Columbia to come be a part of a 2.5 hour drive to come do a putt-putt thing with us is really cool. And it's something that me and Wesley really enjoy.
Yeah, I was going to say I've been on the road doing a bunch of qualifiers this year, and I've been to a few cities, and I've actually stayed with some of their subscribers. Yeah. He was talking about the Discord community.
I know, it's amazing.
What's funny is I Mondayed into the Mexico Open at Vedanta on the PGA Tour this year, and I didn't even know the qualifier was happening, but somebody in their Discord was like, hey, are you or George or Wesley going to come play in the qualifier? It was at his home golf course. And
I am now.
So I looked it up and I signed up, and I ended up qualifying. So, but I've stayed with a few of their subscribers, and they're, like he said, it's a real positive community and a family, and they've all supported me by, allow me to stay at their place, use a vehicle if I needed it, whatever it may be. So,
and caddy,
I've had people caddy, multiple people caddy for me. So yeah, it's been great.
We had time for just a few more.
Yep.
Has observing this positivity and being a part of it made any part of you want to start a channel, or have they tried to get you to start one?
No, I'm pretty comfortable with where I'm at as far as just being like a little extra character. No, because I mean, like George was saying, it's on their community aspect. Everybody feels like a tight knit like group and family, and for me, I just feel like the Bryan Bros are George and Wesley. I am friends with them, and I have been a part of their journey in the absolute smallest way, but I feel more just a part of the Bryan Bros golf, even though I'm not a Bryan or anything like that. But
and I've seen his camera work, so it's.
Well, that's why you have Carney now.
That's what I'm saying. I've seen you try to film some more stuff. No, I'm kidding.
But
really.
I've had no interest in doing my own thing. I'm just I'll be there whenever they feel like they need me. So
We'll wrap up. Final question here.
Well, it's a shame that Wesley left for this question, but George, are you attacking this golf course any differently than your brother, or how do your games compare?
Ooh, I'll answer that one.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
George is attacking this golf course from the fairway, and Wesley is attacking it from not the fairway. No.
It's pretty. I mean, our games are. His is like it used to be traditionally. I hit a lot of fairways, hit a lot of greens, and just make pars and birdies that way. He misses a lot of fairways. It's crazy. Makes a lot of birdies, makes a lot of bogeys. But his short game wedges bail him out. But now I feel like he's kind of turned into like a good golfer and a good driver of like the last few weeks. It's like he's hitting a lot more fairways and playing it a more traditional way. But for the most part, the way he plays is a very aggressive because he knows his short game is elite. He knows his wedge is elite. So if he misses a green, he's not like I can get up and down from anywhere. So it's a freedom to play golf in a different way. Where me, short game's a little different. So I got to attack a little more conservatively in spots where he might. If he short sides himself, he doesn't care. And he doesn't care about anything on the golf course, which is what makes him a winner out here, a very good player, because if he makes double or triple or bogey, he forgets about it. It doesn't bother him. Traditionally, he's going to miss a lot of fairways, some crazy punch shots, and, get up and down. And,
I lied. Final one.
I got one more question, Georgie.
Yeah.
This is a serious question, not a joking question,
Okay.
but I'm curious. In 10 years of Bryan Bros, was there ever a point that you questioned if you would ever get the opportunity to play in a PGA Tour event after working at it so hard?
Yeah.
And how do you feel sitting here now in your second event in 1 year?
Yeah. I mean, it's great because, again, we started Bryan Bros, the ultimate, which is cool. I mean, the cool backstory of what we did, we started it because I ran out of money playing pro golf. I needed something to do, and maybe this turns into something that can fund my professional golf journey. Well, it did that and more. My game never panned out the way I thought it would. Wesley's did, and so we got half of the objective complete. So I was like, okay, I'm never gonna I played some Latin Tour, played okay, but my game wasn't there, and I was like, it's probably never gonna happen. But I was fine with that. I was married, was gonna start a family, and was completely at ease. But at the same time, there was something deep down that's I want to see what my game can be like on the PGA Tour and what it can do. But I knew I was it's never gonna happen. But then last year, the game starts getting better. The channel starts growing, and that thought kind of does creep in my mind. I was well, what if someone reaches out playing a PGA Tour event? And so getting into Bermuda to make the cut and to prove to myself that hey, whatever happens from here on out, I've made the cut on the PGA Tour. 100% made cut, 100% made cut percentage.
You're putting that on the line this week.
Yeah, I am. I got a lot of, but so it's cool to now be here in Myrtle Beach in a PGA Tour event in my home state, playing and teeing it up, not just coming to film Wesley and be outside the ropes with the camera filming. It really is. I mean, I get emotional a lot thinking about it because again, you never know how many more I'm going to play, and what if I win and I'm now a PGA Tour player? But at the end of the day, say I'm playing 2 PGA Tour events when basically all hope was lost, 5 or 6 years ago. That dream that was embedded in me deep as a kid. I wanted to play on the PGA Tour, and I was like, it's never gonna happen. That's fine. Like, I'm okay with that. But to like check it off the list and do it is something that's like you really can't describe.
And I can't say this enough times. You're not just Wesley's brother. You're good enough to play. So just do that. You know, just play your game, and you're great. So
yeah, see, he's part of the reason why I'm out here. You know, playing at a decently high level because he actually would tell me these things daily, and like you hear it enough, and you start to believe it.
What nice words to end on. Matt, George, thank you for
Thank
the
you.
time.
Thank you.
Good luck this week.
See you guys.